This is going to be a Facebook case study here.
So this is last month. The vision is to focus a lot on TikTok organic.
20K a month revenue is very, very, very doable. Yeah, I mean, then let's get started, bro. Tell us your story, how everything went.
Actually, before I joined, I was also doing e-commerce by myself. I wasn't doing dropshipping. I was importing like a product in bulk from AliExpress, but we were actually, me and my girlfriend, we were personalizing it was like a print-on-demand necklace. So we were personalizing it and using Facebook as selling it. But the thing is, I didn't know that at the time it was seasonal. And when I launched it, went for all-in, it was like Q4. And at Q4, like, I think literally everything sells very good. So I was kind of delusional and attached to the product. That's what you also told me when we had the initial call.
Yeah.
So basically, it was like 2021 Q4 when I saw the potential, and then I made a mistake to go all in to basically pursue the product full time. And I realized after February that the sales dropped off, the cost per purchase was like crazy. Then I made like a huge ton of mistakes, like getting credits. I even got an investor on board, which actually didn't go with the deal for 6 months. So I hired a person like full time to help with because we were actually making the product in house. So my expenses went like tripled. I wasn't making the sales, waiting on an investor, and eventually lost like, I think 20K dollars or something like that, and managed to, like, still without a job and doing some freelance here and there, managed to get to the next Q4, like in 2022. Then again, I was like, oh shit, and maybe I learned some things on the Facebook ads. We did some new creatives and made like really good profit. I think we did 30K profits in Q4. I was selling in UK, Germany, and my home country, Bulgaria. And at that time, I was like, okay, I know this thing is seasonal. I need to change something. So I was, okay, I need an e-commerce mentor because I know after February, that's not gonna work. Like one random day, I saw your ad, and then everything made sense. And since then, I'm now doing dropshipping again full time and scaling. Like the last 1-2 months, finally managed to scale like good numbers, 1-2K days. Have like a lot of ambitions for the next 3-6 months, like scaling triple that for sure.
Yeah, 100%. So in general, we're gonna like kind of take a step back here from all the organic stuff which I'm preaching on YouTube for the last like month. This is gonna be a Facebook case study here, and it's also just to show here that still works and it's a totally valid strategy, and it's still the main strategy which we were preaching earlier, which does still work. You know, I'm just overall talking about organic more at the moment because I feel like it's more beginner friendly. But I have to say that for people like you, for example, who are very, very technically versed and you're like really on point with everything in terms of technicalities and you already had experience, you definitely had an advantage there on Facebook as well with being that structured. But yeah, maybe let's go through your stores and see what the numbers look like.
Okay, so this is my main store. And so this is the last month. This is the best month I've had so far on this product because we did have some obstacles. We're going to talk about them maybe later on. Can refresh the page.
Yeah.
So this is last month. I can show the year as well.
Yep.
So I started February, managed to scale a little bit in March, but then my creatives stopped working and I tested, shout out to Rasmus. I think I've already tested like 100 creatives as well.
Nice.
So finally started to pay off like last month in July. Had a small ad account blog, but now I'm back up to like 1.5K days and hopefully gonna scale above 2K soon again.
For context, we have the 10th, so that's why August looks so little.
Yeah, we're
13K
yeah, exactly.
Yeah, but yeah, very, very good. And obviously you also have like a couple of backup stores, I think, which also made some money. We don't have to show.
Yeah, I have in total, like for the last 2 months, 40K revenue on the backup stores and a couple of stores like I'm testing new products.
Nice.
So that's a little bit extra revenue profit as well.
Okay, great. What would you say were the main learnings which you've gotten from going from this whole e-com thing which you did in the beginning back to kind of the scratch in the beginning with dropshipping, and also with generally like what were the biggest changes, what the biggest learnings were?
I think the biggest impact would be having someone to basically I'm that type of guy who has a shit ton of ideas at all times. I have infinite to-do lists, infinite ideas. And previously, when I have to compare, I was working even like more than now, but the result was like none. So I was basically focusing on the wrong things. And I remember like every single day I was testing different apps to maybe increase the AOV. But the offers, actually, the most important thing is the offer. I was focusing on the app instead of testing new offers. And just having someone like you and the whole team and even the group calls, like seeing what other people ask and having like aha moments, eliminating all the small things from my daily to-do list. Because even now I can focus on the wrong things and waste an entire week on something that's not relevant. But you also always like on a course have like the 5 things that I'm thinking of testing, and you're like, you don't need to do that. That's not important. For example, like testing TikTok, Pinterest ads, you're like, that's not the main focus right now. So, and every time, uh, even when I try to test it like a small scale, you end up being correct. Like, for example, I test Pinterest ads, 0 sales with $100. So having that compared to me before, that literally can save you months and like a lot of money. Previously, I was all over the place. I was doing TikTok, Google ads. Instead, I should have been focusing on more creative testing, influence content, and the right offers. And I was doing all the wrong things. So I would say that's the biggest thing.
Yeah, for sure. The very interesting part about you generally was that the program basically was not me telling you what to do, but rather me crossing off things which you shouldn't do. And you came
Exactly, yeah.
with like so many different things, and a lot of them were good, but a lot of them were terrible. And the main thing is just to identify which ones actually are good. Obviously, we have to restructure the offers and stuff like that as well. And also definitely the product research method. But I think you did a pretty good job with generally understanding what a good product is, what a bad product is, and just having that down. And what I've seen in like what you doing, it did like incredibly well, is doing so many different split tests, because you were used to doing way more with bullshit, but now you started doing kind of really important split tests, which are super, super useful. And you basically started having like super high AOV, super high conversion rates, and especially on the like entire funnel side, you generally did like an amazing job overall. So yeah, that's that for you. What's generally the process you use to split test things? Like, how do you come up with this? Like, how do you streamline everything?
I would say it all comes down to looking at the data. I've made like a really detailed day-to-day like P&L sheet, which has everything I need, like the AOV, the cost per purchase, my break-even cost per purchase. I even do the break-even by country, which is something I learned that's really crucial for testing a new product. Because I think when I was first testing this product, I may have killed it if it wasn't for me looking at the country breakdown and finding like that the US has the biggest potential. After, let's say I'm testing like a new product, and after 3, 4, 5 days, I look at the data and learning obviously from you and the people, the other students. I know if I need to test like new creatives, but usually it's always the AOV and the something on the product page. Because I don't know if you've noticed that as well for other people, but the first ever creatives you test, it's almost impossible to beat. Like even if I put like new beta creatives, Facebook for some reason like likes the initial couple of like creatives.
With winners, yes, like with winners.
Yeah. With the winner, yeah, obviously. If it didn't work, obviously you need to test like new creatives. So split testing different like post purchase, the different complementary products, and just focusing on that. And as you said, on this product, I think I've literally tested so many things, like so many complementary products, different images of the upsells and the pre-purchase. But when it finally clicked, now when I'm launching like a new store, my AOV is not the issue. It's either the product or like the creatives. So that's important for sure.
100%, 100%. How do you generally structure your day? Like what are the priorities for you?
That's actually going to be interesting because maybe you'll jump in and say that's not very good, because I still the majority of the profits that I'm making, I'm repaying like credits, loans, and all of that. And by the way, this wouldn't have been possible without this, because if I had to take like a normal job, it would take me like an eternity to start repaying so basically I was all in. I needed to make it work and I made it work. So having said that, like first thing in the morning, I have my girlfriend to make the profit sheet. So I look at that. I look at the last 4 days of Facebook and like comparing the UTMs and the Facebook, I kill everything that's like unprofitable, that's below my break even, and I scale like accordingly compared to the last couple of days performance and my like budget for like yesterday, for example. After that, I do it like the supplier. At the moment, I'm really negotiating hard between two suppliers, so managed to drop my cost of goods like a lot. So that's very good. Those two things are like crucial for me to do it in the morning. And after that, I focus on the creative things like product research, deciding which product I'm gonna start during the website, like creatives, split testing stuff on my website, on the backup store. Yeah, I'm also gonna be going hard on TikTok organic really soon as well.
Yeah,
so
nice.
Yeah.
No, again, but it's very, very noticeable how structured everything is for you, especially with the split test, because like it's not a lot of people who come to me in the calls with as structured questions as you get. You literally come in with like 25 screenshots with arrows pointing at this, doing this, and we just exactly know what, like the questions are very, very, very clear, and it's also super fun to answer them because it's very direct. It's not general, and I exactly know what you mean, and it's the best, you know. So that's definitely something which other people inside of the program right now could learn from you. But for you, what's the main goals overall for the next like 12 months where you actually want to be at with all of this?
Let me relate it like this. So the first goal would be to scale my current winner at least 2 times, which is 100% possible with the credit testing and everything that I'm doing.
Yeah.
To make the backup store profitable at higher scale, and then to find at least 2 more winners at this scale that I'm at right now, like 50K months. And having learned all about the credit testing, the AOV and everything, I'm super confident that if I test like 10 more products, I'll definitely find 2 more, because now products that I'm picking are better, because before I tested a couple not that good products. Scaling those 2 products, and the final thing would be doubling down on TikTok organic. So I'm seeing a lot of things like behind the scenes, people making a shit ton of revenue, and the profit margin in there is insane.
Yeah.
So having the advantage of my girlfriend also helping me with this, she will be taking like 1 product full time in the next couple weeks, and like next month I'm gonna take another one, and obviously with the profits we're gonna start delegating, and like for the next 12 months I'm seeing us have 4 or 5 TikTok products without a problem.
Yep.
And obviously the Facebook stuff gonna be more automated, because they're like the more time you spend doesn't necessarily mean you make like more. 100%. So as you say, yeah, the vision is to focus a lot on TikTok organic.
Mm-hmm. Yes,
because that's insane. Yeah.
Yes, and this is something which a lot of people have to also think about, even though they're making money with Facebook. Because even though you are making money with Facebook, it's still a great idea to do organic, just because of the margins and because of the scales you can reach. You literally need to make like 20K a month to make minimum 10K profit, which is 20K a month revenue is very, very, very doable. And yeah, I mean, you need to make 50 on Facebook to make 10K a month, you know? So it's a very different dynamic. Generally, like for you, how How is it to do all of this full time? Is it very stressful for you that you had to make it work, no plan B, no nothing? Or is it kind of like that you like that stuff?
So I'm not gonna lie, because people sometimes don't speak about this.
Yeah.
The last 12 months, 15 months has been like one of the hardest and craziest like times in my life. Obviously, I wouldn't change anything from my past because that's made me wiser, stronger, and all that. But having that loan and everything on my like shoulders, that's the majority of the stress that I'm feeling. Because as I said before, I need to make it happen, and sometimes that can be stressful. For example, if I have like 3, 4 shitty days on Facebook, I'm having those thoughts like, oh shit, what if this doesn't, it stops working? But obviously, I don't focus on that. I keep doing what I need to do, testing new products, testing new ads. Yeah, like when you focus on the stuff, and when I follow the like your guidance, even if I have a small drop, like next month I'll jump bump up.
Yeah.
And as we've seen on the yearly graph on my store, it's only way up.
Mm-hmm. For sure, for sure. I think a huge thing which changed a lot for you as well is I clearly remember in the very beginning where you were like all into this one product and that was kind of all your attention, you know. And I feel like we restructured that into being a little bit more broad and open to whatever makes money, it doesn't matter. And I think that was one of the biggest changes we actually did to make this work because I clearly remember it was like because you tested so many things on that product, we're also very attached. And maybe talk about that. How did it feel to actually have to drop that product?
Actually, it felt good because it was something I held on for like a year, something that it didn't work completely. Even at that time, I was like, next month I'll make 100K. Next month I'll scale it to the moon. I'll make a shit ton of it's. But even with the things I've learned, if I go back in time and I improve my AOV, like my price, my offer, and add the pre-purchase, post-purchase things we do in the course, I think I've even on a monthly basis, I would have made at least 1 to 3K extra profit, which would have tipped it to be profitable and not lose like a lot of money. I was still making profit, but it wasn't enough to sustain me and my girlfriend.
Mhm.
But yeah, it did feel good because I didn't have the knowledge of like dropshipping because I was stuck to that product. And now with everything I know, even if something stops working, I know in like 30 days I can get something to even at this level.
Yeah.
So this is like a really powerful knowledge.
For sure, for sure. And it also gives you kind of the foundation to then move over and do an actual ecom brand where you just know that if worst case something happens here, I have my plan B's. It's not a big deal. Because with one product generally, it's very difficult to then move over and basically to just move away from it and diversify a little bit. And here with dropshipping, that's also the beauty of it is that you can diversify a lot without having any big investments or nothing like that. You have your one product there, you have your backup stores, you have your other products, you can start organic and stuff like that. And it can be very diverse where you can actually start actually having your peace of mind. Because the only moment where you actually are like, fuck, what's going on, is when those daily profits go down. But if that's only one income stream, it's whatever, you know. So if you have like a couple of different things at the same time and multiple products, multiple stores and in this case even methods in terms of organic plus Facebook, it takes a lot of stress away. But generally, what were the main difficulties overall you have faced over like the last half a year?
I think I had as a habit was getting attached to products because I remember the first ever products I tested with you did show promise.
Mm-hmm.
And maybe that was the unfortunate thing because I think I stuck to it like for a whole month.
Mm-hmm.
And I didn't have other BMs and Facebook accounts, so I couldn't test anything else at the same time. Basically, I was moving too slow, and with that whole month, I eventually killed it, and it was break even. So even though I did learn a lot of things like about upselling, the KPIs, when to kill, when to keep pushing, but definitely I would have had at least 1, 2 stores at the same time because I could have found my winner even faster. So that would be one thing, like getting attached to to the products and not doing more. Like you obviously say it at a lot of the videos, but I don't think you can escape that from when you're a beginner, like refreshing the Facebook ads and the Shopify dashboard, because especially when that's like your whole thing, because I still had at that time like 2 months of capital to, if nothing worked for like 2 months, I had to go get a job, which was something I was fine with. When you are like all in, I made that mistake of like, I was wasting so much time on looking at the ads, even though it was $100 a day. And now the same time I'm spending now at like 800 ad spend a day, but it's even like faster than before me at $100.
Mm-hmm.
So I think having that mindset of not being too attached, like being detached of this needs to work right now. Basically, when you have the knowledge, I will make it work. If I test like 5 products, when you finally realize that, and yeah, things start to happen.
Yes, 100%. And it's just important to understand that things take time overall. And for example, what you said was you tested a product and you tested it for a little bit too long. In a lot of the cases, it's actually better to have a product which completely fails, because that saves you so much time. It doesn't work at all, let's move on. Doesn't work next, let's move on. And you go through like 4 or 5 products and then it does work and then all good. But what fucks everything up is break-even products. And they're very, very annoying because they do show you promise, meaning that you have to split test a bunch of things and it's very, very time, like it takes a lot of time. And the biggest mistake you can do here is focus on this breaking even product without testing other things on the background, because a break-even product actually can be turned into profit. So you need to keep testing it, and it's the correct move to be still on it. But it's the wrong move to focus everything on that, because in the end of the day, if it doesn't work, then you wasted like 1.5 months of split testing for nothing. So it's just crucial to basically have that backup in terms of other products while breaking in. Is it generally difficult for you to kind of manage everything at the same time, or would you like, is time management overall an issue, or would you say that you're good with that and that's not even a problem?
I'd say having that call with you eliminates a shit ton of my ideas, which I could spend like an extra week doing. So when you eliminate those distractions, focus me on the main thing, then I don't have any problems. For anyone that's like considering going on this journey, it depends basically on your goals, because I do have like crazy high goals. Obviously, I need to bring it down a little bit, so I don't say like next month I'll make for 500K. But for the future, I have crazy goals, and that's why I'm putting like a lot of extra time, either on product research or every free time I have, I'm like thinking of something else I can do. But in terms of implementing, when I have that call with you and I understand what you would do in my place, then it's way easier. Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, for sure. What would be the main advice you would give to a person starting out right now?
As I said previously, the most important thing compared to my e-commerce journey before, compared to now, is having someone to bump ideas and focus you on the right path. So ideally, you should look for that type of person. Like it could even be like someone in your circle that's ahead of you, or like Michael, or it doesn't really matter if it's someone that you resonate with and you do know for a fact that's making money. Because there's a lot of people saying 50K revenue, and previously I was impressed with that, but behind the scenes, when the profit margin is not that good, like 50K, even people like brokers who sell like houses make that easily. So find that person, and you will literally save months and a lot of money. Otherwise, you'll have to learn the hard way, which I did, and it sucks, let me tell you. So yeah. And other than that, I would recommend, because you did say compared to the other people, I'm like more structured. I always have like to-do lists. So I know you preach that as well. And if it wasn't for that, I would be way more chaotic, because I always prioritize like deep work. And I know a lot of people like sitting to do some work, but they always check like either your phone, or you have like a lot of tabs open. Even I do, but you jump from one thing to another. And I bet I will do it. I will do the things you have like 3 times as fast compared to you when you're like jumping around.
Yes.
So learning how to do like deep work and focus, I think that's the second advice I would give.
100%. 100%. It's so big because especially having to-do lists which are specific and not like general make creatives. That's not a to-do list, you know, like it's a very you can have like a very broad to-do list first, which is what do I need to generally do? It's product research, make creatives, and make my store better. Cool. But what do I do? Like that's if you have those 3 tasks in the beginning of your day, you still don't really know what to do. And in the morning, you're going to feel lost and you're not going to do shit. So what you need to do is you can have broad points of what you generally need to achieve. And then you need to understand, what does this mean? What does this mean to have new creatives? Let's say I have to text 25 people on Fiverr and 25 people on Instagram. And that's a clear to do. All right, I know exactly what I need to do here. Then I need to write my script for the creative. Then I need to the people who already made the creatives for me, I need to check them and tell them what they did bad, what they did good, and basically help them. And it's just getting as specific as possible just to make sure that you actually know what you're doing. Because a lot of the people, they get lost in broad points and they feel productive because they have a to-do list, but in reality they don't have anything. They have bullet points of what they might be doing in the next couple of weeks. So yeah, just to sum up, your experience overall working with us in the program, how was it?
We have a call on Monday, we have a call on Tuesday, Wednesday, on Friday, like even on the weekends, and having the WhatsApp groups. Even now, I do have like a lot of questions, but in the very beginning, I had a shit ton of questions.
Yeah.
So, for example, I wasn't used to making those type of video ads. And credits. So my first ever, I popped them in a group, and you and Patrick gave me feedback. I improved them. So otherwise I would have wasted time and like 100, $200 just putting them on Facebook and not making any sales. You can even get banned. So I learned how to avoid like words like you or other red flags on Facebook. So that's really important. I also, my website wasn't that good looking maybe in the beginning for this type of offer. So pop it in a group or we review it live on the call and boom, like I improve it. So I don't waste money over there. Then I have like an issue with like a supplier. I ask how to negotiate if I'm pushing too much, or every time I like it's push even more because they obviously want to make money as well. But it's those small things, and across the week I have like 2-3 obstacles, like things I can still do it on my own, but having the like someone like you to tell me the right path if I'm choosing like between 2 options, you save money here, you save time here, and it adds up. And on a monthly basis, like you end up saving so much time, saving so much money, and making like the right decisions. Because the alternative route could be you getting banned, wasting a lot of money, then having to find like even a job. It's the ultimate hack. Like even if you're not doing e-commerce, if you're doing like IT business, it would be the best idea to learn from someone that's ahead of you. Even like every successful person preaches this, like you always learn from someone that's ahead of you. So it's stupid not to do it. So having this structure is life-changing. And I know in the next 6-12 months, I'm not delusional when I say I'm going to scale like 2, 3, 4, 5 times even with the structure.
Yeah, appreciate it, man. I agree 100%. And for everybody watching right now, if you actually also want to join, you can click the link below, sign up for a call, and we're going to find out if everything is a good fit. Now, important to mention, as usual, it's not easy. It's not a get rich quick thing. It's difficult. And I hope interviews like this show this, because we're talking about a bunch of things which sound complicated, which sound difficult. Everything which you said doesn't sound easy. Like testing 100 creatives does not sound easy. Testing like a bunch of split tests for AOV and product pages and stuff like that and product, it's not easy. It's not easy, but it's worth it if you do it, because the upside is just so much higher than having a couple of shitty months, which are going to be annoying to work with, like technical things. So yeah, if you guys are interested, click the link below, and I'm going to talk to you soon.